Good evening. I call to order the November meeting of the Florence City Planning Commission. And on behalf of the commissioners and the planning staff, I want to thank all of y'all for being here tonight. We work hardest and best when we have participation, and I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to go straight to the agenda. We have several items tonight, and the first item on the agenda, I can find my agenda, is the invocation, and Mr. Moses is going to give that for us.
Let's always remember, let's pray for one another, because we don't know when it be our last time. Dear Lord, we want to thank you for the gathering here today for the Planning Commission for the city of Florence. Let us do the right thing for the citizens of Florence, and let us strive the best way. Dear Lord, bless us in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Moses. If you'll join us in standing and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. The commissioners received their packets in very good time. Thank you, Ms. Lane. And they had a chance to review last month's minutes. This was our October meeting. And if there are no changes, corrections, or recommendations, thank you, Mr. Moses. I'll call for a motion. I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second to approve as submitted. Are there any questions or discussions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like signs nay, and the ayes have it. Thank you. All right. The next item is public hearing and a matter in position for action. This is PC 2025-39. And Ms. Elaine, staff report, please.
Good evening. Thank you again for being flexible and meeting tonight instead of next week on Veterans Day. So this is a request to rezone two lots that are located on Clark Branch Road from Neighborhood Conservation 6.1 to Neighborhood Conservation 6.3. And these are Florence County tax map numbers 0009801, 002, and 491. So these parcels are located on the southern end of Clark Branch Road at Westfield Drive, and they are, the property behind them is in the county, and it's a church, but everything else around it is in the city limits, including directly across Westfield Drive is the, I think it's Lucy T. Davis Elementary School, and then there's a single-family subdivision to the east of it, and again, that church to the west. It is currently zoned NC 6.1, which permits single-family detached houses only. And the future land use map does declare this neighborhood conservation, so it is still supposed to be a residential use. The applicants several years ago had that whole strip along Clark Branch annexed and subdivided into 12 individual parcels with the intent of building 12 single-family detached houses. But now he's come back, and this was the original plat showing the 12 lots. But now he has come back with the request to combine those lots instead into one parcel and rezone it to NC 6.3. And NC 6.3 does permit townhouses, which is the intended use, but it also permits duplexes and multifamily uses as well. So that is the request, is to rezone it in order to build townhouses. And the sketch plan for townhouses is the next case after this one. So that concludes staff's report.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. I have a question. When these two parcels were zoned in 2022 to 6.1, all of those same parcels are now up for requests for 6.3, or were there single-family homes sold?
There are 6 single-family houses that have been built on the first 6 parcels of those 12.
Can you put that sketch back up, please?
So the ones that are closest to Hoffmeyer, the lots 12 through 6, are already constructed as single-family homes. And I believe those are all rentals.
Hoffmeyer.
It starts, one is at the left, it goes left to right, so one is at the left. So the lots that are closer to Hoffmeyer, the 6 lots behind that larger one, are already built up with single-family houses. So this would just take up the remaining 6 lots.
Commissioners, any questions of staff?
So that's 6 coming from right to left?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And that's in our packet, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And there are single-family homes across the street?
That's right.
All right, Commissioners, questions?
The school is behind it, is that what that?
The school is south of it. So you can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 6 individual parcels, and then one small parcel was already broken out, but they want to include that with the remainder of it, and those 2 parcels together, they would like to rezone to the NC 6.3.
The homes across the street, the driveway is on Gloria Court.
That's right. So those are the backyards.
Okay. And then those single-family homes that are on that, the driveways are off of Clark Branch.
That's correct. Yes.
And behind it is the church?
Yes, sir. And then the school's directly across the street.
In front of it.
Yeah.
And then there are townhouse developments just to the west of it off of Westfield. That just recently came in. And then also at the other end of Clark Branch Road on Hoffmeyer Road.
Do you have a cursor or anything that you can
Yeah.
put on those locations?
So that our cursor won't work, but our old school.
It works every time.
And Jerry can reach it.
So yeah, the blue there is labeled campus is the school.
Okay.
And then, this is the, I guess that's a house that
Yes.
faces, Hoffmeyer here. And then from here down to here was all what was zoned, as.
6.1.
That's right, it's 6.1 and originally for 6 single-family lots. And then the portion in the red, which compromises 2 lots, it's one that's already been subdivided, and then the remainder there that was never subdivided is what's proposed for rezoning here. So, and then the church would
That's
be
what-
to the rear there, in the unshaded.
And you said there's townhomes already on Clark
Yeah,
Branch?
there's townhomes here at the corner of Hoffmeyer and Clark Branch, and there's some proposed townhomes over here, kind of in that orange shaded area.
That one was recently, wasn't it?
That's recent,
Yeah.
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 They're going
Yeah.
through development review.
That's across from the school. Lucy Davis, you talking about?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
They're, so yeah, here's Lucy T. Davis here, so these are directly across from the school.
But I was asking about the other one, the one that you pointed to.
Other one, they're kind of tucked up here in the corner,
Okay.
off the curve of the road there where Westfield curves around.
It looks like
They're oriented to the side there on that narrow parcel.
to the right, the far right, there's a 6.3.
That's,
Water Chase.
yeah, Water Chase.
Apartment complex, yeah.
Apartments. And then between the two is what?
This is Quail Point. It's a single family in the county. That's a dead end road there.
Okay.
And then this is, Kenwood or Gloria Court here with Kinswood, I believe is the name.
Any other
Those are
questions?
all single family attached.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lane. We will have a public hearing with this, and what I would like to do is first kind of explain how we do this. Many of you know, but I'll ask those that are against this request to come forward first, and we'll not talk from the audience. You have to come to the podium. All of this is recorded so that if you wanted in any state, we'll look you up. No, I'm kidding. So you'll have to speak at the podium, and you have to be invited up. I may, if there are a lot of people talking, I may limit it to 3 minutes, or maybe 3 or 4 people. And once everyone has spoke against, I'm going to ask anyone that is in favor of this to come forward and support their reason for this request. So there'll be no discussion. Everybody will be looking at the commissioners and not necessarily the person speaking. With that said, is there anyone that would like to speak against this request? You're invited certainly to come forward. Please do. Good evening. And your
Hi.
name, please?
I'm Michelle Moore.
Ms. Moore, thank you for coming forward.
Thank you. I actually live at 451 Gloria Court, so I'm in that single-family neighborhood. And I have some of my other neighbors are in here tonight, but I bought in the neighborhood in 2022, and I was told at the time that I bought the neighborhood that, because we're a one-street neighborhood, and I specifically moved in there to kind of start over again and build a house in there. And when I did, I liked the fact that it was one single street and that it was near the schools. But I was told at the time that that property back behind me when I bought, that it would only be, available for single family houses. So when I bought in there, I love the neighborhood, and I like the character of the neighborhood and that it's small. And so I have some concerns more than anything else about if this actually happens. Right now, there's going to be off of Hoffmeyer, Magnolia development, that's going to be a large volume of houses. Right now, we have on our street already a drainage problem with rain running into our street. So part of my concern is that you're taking availability on that street that was meant for 6 additional single-family houses, but you're going to put multiple, I don't know how many are planned to be in there exactly, but what's going to be put in place for drainage, because right now on our street it drains into my yard from the front, and then this development would be across the street, and then if it drains the other way, I'm looking at being sandwiched in between. So that's part of my concern. The traffic is also a concern to me. Right now, the traffic already through our neighborhood, through traffic in our neighborhood, going to the schools is a lot already. And so if you are doing it not as single family, but as multifamily, that definitely is going to pour additional traffic into that street as well. The character of the neighborhood is, why is the development from a real estate perspective trying to change the zoning more important than the people that bought into our neighborhood, counting on the character remaining the same and there being similar single-family houses with the same aesthetic? They look similar, and keeping with that next to us. Why is our investment and what we've spent in building those houses and buying into that neighborhood less important than real estate development for a multifamily housing and having it rezoned? There, like was mentioned earlier, there's 6 houses that were already built back there. I don't think people in our neighborhood had a problem because they look like our neighborhood. It's similar. But now they're asking to take the other half of that street, and it's not going to be the same. And so I have a concern about that. The water, sewage, fire department, all of those things are going to be loaded more. They're going to be taxed more by more being on that lot than the 6 homes. Let's see. Let me see. those are my main things. I mean, I'm not, I'm not in support of it, but, and I don't understand why, what would the advantage be to the people that are already living on Gloria Court for that to be rezoned? And I think that our best interest also has to be looked at, and not just the best interest of whoever wants to develop that lot. So,
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Let me ask the commissioners. Commissioners, do you have a question for Ms. Moore? Thank you, Ms. Moore.
thank you.
All right, is there anyone else that would like to come forward and speak against this? Thank you, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is David Poston. I'm also a resident in Gloria Court. I'd like to cover one of the main things that Michelle covered. Drainage right now is already a major problem. We don't have a retention pond for our neighborhood. It's not draining. It doesn't drain well. And now with the extra concrete and parking area, that this new, if it goes to multifamily homes, that's going to create more of a drainage issue because there's no retention pond plan for that either. So we're just going to have a bunch of water flooding. And when it does rain heavy, we do have flooding in our neighborhood already. And also, the privacy of having multiple houses, look into our backyards is also a concern for me.
All right, Mr. Poston, any questions, commissioners?
What is your address?
415 Gloria Court.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
The area that we are looking at, is that used by you guys in that community at all? Is like extra parking or anything?
No, sir. The area developed was woods when we originally moved into the area, and then that was cleared cut. And now if it rains real heavy, if you go to those last two lots now, it's flooded as it is. So, now it already has a drainage problem with nothing built on it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is that water coming in to the backside of those houses?
It's not coming in the backside, but where the current proposed lots are going to be built, that's where I'm talking about. The ditch in the back does get full, but it doesn't flow anywhere. I'm assuming it's supposed to flow to the neighborhood, not the neighborhood, but the condos back behind us, and then I think there's a drain over to the retention ponds at the school, but our neighborhood or the new neighborhood, neither one has a retention pond, for excess drainage.
All right.
You're fine, single-family detached houses
Yes,
when
sir.
it was originally planned?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Poston. Anyone else? Okay, please come forward. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Susan Spring, and I'm 423 Gloria Court.
You said Susan Spring?
Susan Spring.
Thank you.
I worked all my life and saved to build a house, and I love this street, and it's got a lot of character and everything. And so I sold and built a house on there, and I hate to see the neighborhood change. Not only that, we don't only have one school, but we have 3 schools on that street behind us. And in the morning and afternoon, traffic is stopped like it is. If we get more residents, I'm afraid it's just going to make it very hard for us to leave and go out in the morning or come home in the afternoon.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Springs. I'll take one more. Is there anyone else that I would like to speak against? Seeing none, I will switch to anyone that would like to speak in favor of this. Ask you to come forward, please. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Chris Langmo, so I'm the owner of the 6 houses on Clark Branch that currently are single family. And, I'm going for zoning change on the remaining 6, which is actually just 2 parcels. And then I have 463 Glory Court as well. So I'm very familiar with the drainage issue since my great aunt lives on 463, like I said. And that's why, I don't know if you're going to show it or not, but there is a retention pond in the sketch plans. that's going to really, really help, I think, both sides of the street, especially and my 6 houses next door, because I've had issues on, with my great aunt's house on 463, but also my 6 on Clark Branch. So there is a.
It does not show it on our sketch plan.
Oh, okay.
It probably will in the next
Okay.
item, which shows sketch plan approval, but go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
And then, I know the other big worry is going to be traffic. And, with traffic being right there, I think it's mainly the school times, pick up and drop off. And, with these people who would live here on Clark Branch, those kids can walk. There's not going to be a whole lot more cars going to the pickup and drop off line since it's right across the street and we're putting a sidewalk that runs, I already have the sidewalk on the 6 single families on Clark Branch, and I'm going to extend that all the way to the corner to where they can walk to the school. And then the other thing, as far as obviously a valid concern, is the neighborhood changing. And like I said, I specifically picked the townhouse design that I did to match the 6 I've already built, as well as, what currently exists in Glory Court. And I know you can't take my word for it, but obviously I'm going to be a good neighbor because I have my great aunt lives in Glory Court at 463, and I have the 6 houses next door. I'm not going to say I'm going to build one thing, then turn around and build something else or mismanage, because I'm also the property manager, since that's what I do. So I know you can't take my word for it, but, I am the owner and the property manager as well. And I think that's about all I got.
Commissioner?
So, the obvious question is why?
Yes.
Why would you
Yeah,
develop
yeah.
a piece of property,
Yeah.
have it zoned, build houses, and then decide you want to do something different?
Yeah, so I actually didn't initially get this zoned in 2022. I actually bought the project after, it was someone else who owned it.
Okay.
I bought it in 2023 sometime. So that wasn't actually me who came here and got it turned into something. That was not me. Okay. And the real reason for why is, like I said, I'm a property manager, and I manage a townhouse complex off Celebration, 12 Oaks, that Teddy Dowling has those green townhouses that are really upscale. And I've just seen there's a huge demand for these kind of luxury townhouses, and there's none in Florence besides what Mr. Dowling has done. And I just think there's a lot more need for that. Because a lot of, not all rental properties are created equal. And, I've just seen from managing Teddy's, there's a real need for the luxury higher end townhouses. I just think there's not enough.
What's the name of that one again?
12 Oaks Lane is the street. It's right behind Metiera on Celebration.
Commissioners, any more questions?
Yeah, I've got another question. I'm just curious if I asked you to put your shoe on the other foot and you lived there and built a house, and then someone wanted to come in and change the zoning and build multifamily when you bought and built under the assumption that it was all going to be single family. I mean, what?
Yeah, I mean, I
what's
totally
your
understand
response
that.
How do you answer? How do you respond?
Yeah, well, I would say, one thing is the 6 houses, if I lived on Clark Branch in one of those 6 houses, it would be a different story because, that is your neighbor. Versus, in my opinion, Gloria Court is its own neighborhood. I mean, they have their own HOA. The houses are facing the other side of Clark Branch. That's their backyards, not their front yards. And like I said, my great aunt lives in Gloria Court. I wouldn't do something to have her, be upset with me either. So like I said, I mean, I have a lot invested on Clark Branch and as well in Gloria Court. I have family who lives there, like I said. I mean, I wouldn't, I think we need more housing, and I don't think that adding more housing is a bad thing when it's something we need,
I got one question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Moses.
When you bought that land, you know what it was zoned to, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you want to come, we've already have been zoned to that particular property. Now you want to come here and ask us to change the zoning so you can build townhouses and build how many?
For town, so 2 buildings, each would have 8 units. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When there's room for 6, there's 6 lots right there.
Well, I'm gonna say this, I am advocate for single family homes. And when it comes to townhouses, I just, especially when you really need to the neighborhood survey, we done, city already zoned it, bought it as that. Then you would come back to us and let us, ask us to rezone it. I don't think,
Yeah, yeah. And, I mean, one thing I would say to that is, like I said, I'm not buying it as one thing and then trying to go behind your back and change up plans. I just saw the need for the demand just from the property management side when I started managing Mr. Teddy's townhouses. You know, I just saw the need for it, really, is why I'm coming back to change, is the main reason.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Langman.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward and speak in favor of this? Yes, sir.
Hey, Robert Thomas. I own Greystone Properties here in Florence, and the one big picture thing I just like to talk about is, unfortunately, what we're seeing in the market right now is people can't go pay $2,500 a month rent, and for Mr. Langmo to go build 6 single-family homes on those lots, he's going to have to get $2,500 plus a month rent to make the numbers work, and the people in town just can't. That rent, I think we all agree we got to get rents down some. We got to create some affordable living in good areas for people, and that's what he's going to do in a nice way. And I know he totally doesn't. Your neighborhood's great, but a developer can't tell you when you buy in one neighborhood what's going to happen with the rest of the land around it. I mean, that's not their place to do that. So I don't think any developer should. I can't when we do that. So anyway, big picture, I think Florence needs nice townhomes to give somebody a nice, safe place to live, but still affordable. Thank you, guys.
All right.
why can you, excuse me,
Yes, sir.
why can't you build single family homes affordable?
Because it costs too much. I wish we could. To build a single-family home on that lot there, we're looking at close to $300,000 per house. To make it nice. I mean, we don't want to go build a junk house there, and I don't think they want that either. But it costs $300,000, and you got it. I mean, the numbers just don't work anymore.
And you say the rents would be what? Potentially in these.
The rents on these would be closer to $1,600, $1,800 maybe.
I saw a sign the other day with furniture for $1,600.
Sir?
I saw a sign saying furnished house for $1,600. So you telling me that you can't build a house under $299?
We can't build the quality and style house. Like the houses that he's currently built there are $300,000 houses. And you got to get over $2,500 a month rent to that really still doesn't even work. So, yeah, I mean, it's just not affordable anymore. And I love the idea of seeing young families living right there, walk into school, and they can afford it. A young family can't afford $2,500 a month rent. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I'll close the public hearing portion of this and call for a motion.
Make most of that.
I have a motion to deny. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to deny. Is there any discussion?
So, yeah, well, no discussion. I mean, really just an explanation of where I am on this.
Please.
This is why we're here. I mean, this is exactly why we're here. And the bar, I have always said, to change a zone of an existing neighborhood, there is a higher bar. And the burden is on the developer. And while there's no question we need more of that kind of housing in Florence. You know, we look at these folks, you know, from the neighborhood who bought and built under the assumption that the zone was going to be the way it was. And I struggle as I'm listening to everyone talk, and I understand where you guys are coming from completely. But if I were in the neighborhood and someone wanted to change the zone to build something differently than was already there, I just don't think I would be in favor of it. And so as commissioners with the Planning Commission, that's our job, is to sort of protect citizens from each other. And we want to foster development in Florence, and we need more development in Florence, and we need more housing, affordable housing. But we can't, in my mind, we just can't do it at the expense of homeowners that have property there. I just don't, as much as I empathize with you, I just don't see how we can do it. So that is my explanation for why I'm against it.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Anyone else would like to speak on this?
Yes, sir. I'd like to say something. I tend to agree with the commissioner. We realized from our last meeting that Florence has a really big problem with housing. Affordable housing, as the commissioner said, that's one thing, but this housing period is a problem, and more people are moving into Florence. We're one of the fastest growing areas in the state right now, and for various reasons. And I think as the homeowners, you guys have kind of gotten caught in an area where, who would have thought that all those people, I couldn't believe it the first time I rode out there. They put all those schools right on top of each other. And I just can't imagine living there, because you'd have to get up and get out 30 minutes or an hour because everybody's trying to move at the same time. Now, I hear what you're saying, the schools and walking to schools and all that, but out there where you live, is this a problem? I don't live out there, and thank God, but I've been out there and I've seen it, and I just can't imagine having to go back and forth to work with all of that going on at the same time. So you've gotten caught into a kind of situation that, again, you didn't ask for it, but that's where you are. And then on the other hand, what you're trying to do, I think, is a noble gesture, and it appears that it's meeting some of the demands that we need here in Florence. However, on the other hand, I think that what these folks have gotten caught into, they're just stuck, and I wouldn't want to add any more headaches to your problems.
I would like to say one thing also.
Can I piggyback off that real quick? When were the schools built?
Do you remember?
Around 2012 or so?
So they were there before those houses were built,
That's
correct?
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
that.
My statement is there were concerns about drainage and water buildup and retention. We very seldom, as commissioners, get involved on that side of it. The heartstring here was the existing neighborhood and the future and what your plan was. We've all talked about how noble it was. The city of Florence will not allow a developer to build any development without being fully engineered and approved by the city. So, you know, the people that are worried about drainage, that kind of glosses over, because we know the city will resolve that issue. As my great commissioners have already stated, the one issue, and I felt it before I got here, was going to be the people that live across the street, single family minded. I didn't realize that Mr. Langmo owned the 6 houses already sold. I was concerned that they were private ownership, single family, and then now, they're thinking the rest of those lots would be built out single family. It's a little easier for me to swallow the fact that you will just rent those, but those renters in there now, if they're fully rented, are probably still expecting single family homes, and now they're going to be dealing with that. So this was a tough one. This one cut at the heart because there are two winners here, and from the standpoint of what you have invested in and the direction you want to take Florence. So with that said, we have a motion and a second to deny. We've had discussions. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of denying this request, show a hand. It is unanimous. The noes are the request to go forward has been denied, and I ask that you keep up the energy. I love what you're doing, and we'll see you around a lot, and you're going to help Florence grow tremendously. All right. Thank you, Commissioners. That was a tough one. And the next item, which I need to get staff to, is a sketch plan approval of this very project of townhomes. And do we need to?
Well,
I know that the City Council will make the ultimate decision.
that's right. In the case of rezoning, City Council makes the ultimate decision. So it would be at the will of the applicant whether to move forward without the blessing of the Planning Commission. So technically, I believe you could look at the sketch plan, but it would be contingent upon the rezoning being approved. So I think that's at the will of the applicant in this case, whether they would wish to possibly defer that or to go ahead and move forward. So.
Oh, no. If they say no,
You'll defer for now or withdraw for now? Okay, all right. So,
All right, so we will
skip over this.
scratch PC 2025-40, Commissioners. And we'll move to our last item, PC 2025-41. Mr. Johnson.
Good evening,
Decided
everybody.
to wake up and get here tonight.
I know, I did. I just woke up. Good nap, though. So this is for sketch plan approval for Railroad and Pine Apartments. This is in the Central Business District, and this is 0.304 acres. The developer wishes to divide it into 5 parcels. This previously received DRB approval. This is in the redevelopment overlay district. So Mr. Wiles did go through DRB to get the site plan approved, which you see here, as well as the aesthetics, the fences, the gates, the landscaping, the layout. And originally it was all to be developed on one parcel. From my understanding, Mr. Wiles would like to break it into 5 parcels, which requires Planning Commission approval. I believe to better finance the project going forward. And each chunk, each parcel will take into account one of the buildings. So we have 5 separate buildings, multifamily, and he just wishes to divide those so that they will all act independently. You know, they'll all have their own water, sewer, public access, and then tract 4 will also grant an access and driveway easement to the rest of the development to coincide with the Design Review Board approved site plan. So this, as I said, will have city utilities, water, sewer. It also falls under our stormwater jurisdiction, so we'll do inspections throughout construction. City sanitation will service roll carts within the subdivision. This is compliant with Unified Development Ordinance standards, and anything else that falls into the development plan purview, city staff will make sure it's in compliance at that time. So this is the sketch plan to be approved. It's just breaking up, like I said, the 5 different units into 5 separate parcels. And that does conclude staff's report.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. So please reiterate, we're not making any changes. The individual plats meet the guideline as far as setbacks, frontage, depth, and, okay.
Correct. So yes, sir, this is in the central business district. So, taking into account if there was no development plan, each parcel has public access. Each parcel meets the 25 minimum lot width for the central business district. If this was 4 parcels, city staff could approve it. 5 parcels, we kick it into sketch plan, and it does require planning commission approval.
All right, commissioners, questions? All right, we do not.
I'm sorry, I did have a question.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm noticing that units 1, 2, and 3 are different sizes than units 4 and 5. Will unit 1, 2, and 3, will they have more? Well, obviously they have more people than units 4 and 5, correct?
I believe so. The developer is here, and he could probably speak to the number of units per building. There are different numbers, yes, sir.
All right, appreciate
that is correct.
All right, we do not have a public hearing with this, so if the commissioners, I'll call for a motion.
Move we approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve as requested. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
I got a question.
Okay, Mr. Moses.
I went in and looked at that property there.
Mr. Moses, speak up just a little bit.
I said, I went there and I looked at the property there, Railroad Avenue, and that's where the old Florence New, am I right?
That's correct. I believe it's to the north. Yes, sir.
Yes, that's where's that. And those units, I'm trying to figure out how they're going to put those units in there. Because they're close to the railroad track there. The back of that land is close to the railroad tracks. How much of a right of way he got in there?
Yeah, the railroad. That's a great question. Here's an aerial photo to just sort of give it some context. No access will be granted off of railroad right-of-way. We know how hard it is to deal with the railroad. So Mr. Wiles has taken that into account, and all lots are afforded public access off of either East Pine Street or South Railroad Street, and just to be safe, that access and driveway easement from Tract 4 to the other tracks ensures that these parking spaces in that driveway can be accessed by any of the residents in any of the units.
So my thing is he's going to have something that'll be unit 4 and 5, right?
Yes, sir. That's
Close
correct.
to the railroad track.
Correct.
What is he going to have there in between the railroad tracks and his units for safety wise?
I believe nothing. The site plan itself was approved by the Design Review Board. So tonight, the buffer yard would not necessarily be up for discussion, or in terms of, distance of the building from the railroad tracks. But just the subdivision itself, if the sketch plan is in compliance with our standards in that regard.
Mr. Moses? Are you happy? Thank you, sir. All right, I have a motion, a second to approve. Show of hands. All those in favor, show your hands, please. Do we have? Okay. We've got one dissension. I didn't see. Okay, and those against? Okay. We have one against, and the remainder of the commissioners approve. So this does.
Let's keep why I'm against it because I'm thinking,
Yes.
like you say, you get to worry about that. I'm thinking about kids will be living in those units.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have, you have the railroad tracks is there. And the speed of the train traffic coming through there is really 45 miles an hour, I can tell you.
I know, you used to work for the railroad, right?
It's 45 miles an hour, and then the kids coming out their yard running, they're going, because they know where he can stop. And see, and then plus the train traffic have a lot of time to stop in there, then all of a sudden it'll take off also. So my concern is, if he put some kind of fence or something there, up there on that side of that railroad track there, it will be, I hate to say, don't do it now and don't do it later. Now's the time to, for him to think about that, for safety wise, because see, if that fence is not there, he's liable to be sued before that child get killed by the railroad track, because there's a no trespassing sign on all railroad tracks. You're not supposed to cross them anyway.
I didn't know that.
Yes, there's no trespassing sign, and see, the railroad's not liable. It'll be up to that developer to be liable for a child and something to get killed like that.
All right, Mr. Moses, well noted. It'll be in the minutes, and the city council will have a chance to voice those same concerns. All right, this has passed, and if staff does not have any future business, I'll call for Mr. Moses.
Motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
I have a motion, a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you all very much for being here tonight.